Khan A. Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again. The spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to, I wanted to tap into a brief live stream. Check this live real quick, make sure it's good. I just wanted to tap into a brief live stream. Pretty much, speaking the prophecy, as we do, as the spirit, has equipped us with, the ability to prophesy, pretty much shed light on the reality of current events taking place on the planet Earth, and pretty much marrying it to the reality of the prophecies, bro. And again, this would be the way to measure the times and understand what times we're in, and be able to make the necessary moves, take the necessary actions to position ourselves the best we can for salvation, man. Those of us that have been given the unction, those of us that have been given the ability to fear the Lord, and understand this truth through the Holy Spirit. All right, so through the Spirit, you see what's going on with Trump, with this whole MAGA regime. They apparently successfully taken Venezuela. He's taking that oil, right? He's gonna sell that oil, as he said, right? And but he's getting a lot of pushback, man. He's getting a lot of global pushback from his counterparts as well, from those that are in opposition of him, that are allied with Venezuela, like China and Russia. But now he's stating the claim, that they're going to pretty much annex Greenland. All right, and I was actually tapping into a lesson from the beloved brother out of Dallas, Texas. What was it? Denmark. Denmark is actually telling Trump's organization, like, look, if you guys annex Greenland, right, the EU's gonna fall apart, but NATO's gonna fall apart. This whole situation we got going on is gonna fall apart. Which shows you what? At the end of the day, evil E is at the end of his rope. Okay? That's prophecy screaming, man. Because we know, pursuant to Revelation 17 and 16, ultimately, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, the beast is going to end up hating the whore. All right? That's going to be the end game. All right? Which is pretty much going to, it's going to be a catalyst, you see, to this Edomite regime being leveled, man. You see, they're going to self-destruct. Esau is going to self-destruct. You see? And he can feel it in his spirit that his days are numbered. Pretty much what they're doing, from the global elite on down, because we know they're the ones that are, moving the puppets on the string. Right? They're pretty much, they're in that Habakkuk, Esau's in that Habakkuk 2 and 5 energy. Let me go get that real quick. He's like, you know what, before I go, I'm taking everything, dog. That's the spirit Esau's in. I'm taking everything before I go. Right, and I got a video I want to share with you, beloved Akiyam and Akwath as well, which pretty much inspired this lesson. It's from Redacted. I got a video from Redacted I wanna play real quick, which, you know, pretty much it really does expose a lot, you know, this little clip I got. But needless to say, this is the book of Habakkuk. I want to grab verse 5. Let's start at verse 3, right? The book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, and it reads, because it all coincides, right? For the vision, which is the prophecies, right, is yet for an appointed time. But as like Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter tells us, there's a time for everything, a season for everything, man, on the earth. All right, and that even goes for prophecy. Prophecy comes when it's time for it to pass. You see? And this is why people don't understand why Babylon the Great's able to do what they're doing right now with, you know, taking over these various countries, man. What they don't understand is that Esau is in his blessing. He's at the tail end of it. All right, and he's going to pursue an evil agenda, all right, on his way out. You see, this is why it seems like he can't be stopped. This is why it seems like no one's above Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, it's because this is the hammer, right? This place has been ordained, right, to be blasphemous, all right, to be hypocritical, and to ultimately, you know, sit in the seas, which are the people, and pretty much delegate and control the scenario until the end. Right, check this out. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, it shall speak and not lie, man. All right, and prophecy is speaking. And it's the men of the Lord that are going to be the ones bringing it to the forefront, interpreting it. The true men of the Lord. You see, they're not going to be podcasting and debating and wasting all types of time with side missions. No, prophecy is going to be the primary priority. All right, when it comes to the duty of a servant of the Lord, an ambassador, a watchman, a seer. And you beloved Akim and Akwath, you believers, the innumerable multitude, is going to have the spiritual inclination or what have you to be able to understand who those true pastors are, man. Who truly fears the Lord and who don't. You see, who has the true oil that was sent from the heavens and who don't. You see, these prophecies are speaking right now, man. You see, look it. Though it tarry, it may take a little bit. Wait for it. Be patient, right? Because it will surely come. It will not tarry. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. Numbers, man. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. Shall he say it and not do it, bro? All right, so we know we can stand on these prophecies. They're gonna come to pass. It's a matter of time. You see, which is on our side. Okay, because we're not trying to counter-react prophecy, right? We're not trying to slow it down. You know, we're pretty much understanding that we have no choice but to live it out. See, Esau, time is against him. Okay, time is against him because prophetically he has an end. You know? So, hey, prophecy is against this guy, bro. We're limitless, man, as far as time's concerned. You know, those of us of the hopeful elect. You know? Look at this. Check this out. Let's continue on. Verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. All right? So evil E, this is talking to evil E right here. Right? His soul, which is lifted up, he's the proudest creature created. All right? He is the proudest nation wiggling around the earth. And the Lord wired him like that. Because the Lord set Esau up in a position of Pharaoh. All right, to be proud, boastful, blasphemous, cocky, haughty. Right? Allowed them to establish from what it looks like an unstoppable empire. Right? Just so the Lord can divinely execute what the men of the Lord, the prophets, are advocating, man, are speaking. You know, we saying that the Lord's going to come and stop this guy, and he's going to utilize Russia, the BRICS nations, and America's allies to do it. When that comes to pass, then you people out there that don't believe the report, atheists, reprobate, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest of you heathen are going to come to the conclusion there were prophets among you, man. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that power, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, his only begotten son, truly lived, man. That this wasn't something that we were making up. You see? See, prophecy is going to settle the score, is what it's going to do. Right? Let's go. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Right? This dude's not upright. He's a crook, froward, fork-tongued demon, liar, deceptor, witch, wizard, all right? Profane, sexual, immoral, everything, man. You name it. Everything wicked and evil, that's E. Right? But he tries to hide it. He can no longer hide this now. Before, he was able to hide in the shadows. You know? He was able to be mysterious with it. But no, not now, not no more, because the light's on him. The light's on him, bro. This word, which is likened unto kryptonite for him. Right? This is what shrivels him up. Okay? This is why he's... Oh, let me throw this out here real quick through the spirit. All right? You know, PSA, for those of you that don't know already, Evil E, all right, is AI dubbing your videos. Okay? So make sure you're doubling back on your videos. You know, some of us brothers be going live, so I'm not sure how is it going to work with it live, because I know it was a pre-recorded situation. The brothers in Chicago brought it out. But needless to say, either way, Esau can play with the lives. We know he's sending pings, cutting live short, muting the video. Okay? So he's playing, he can play with the live. But as far as AI dubbing it, that's yet to be seen. We'll find out. But I'm through the spirit, I'm still going to be doubling back on my lives, because he could tap in there after. You know, after it's been put up, he can go back in there and do his little mischief. So for you, Akiyam, that don't know, that are teaching the word, you know, that, you know, putting up lessons, quality check your work. Hey, and that's all you can do. At the end of the day, it's the Lord's will. You know, if you catch it, if the spirit allows you to catch it, you know, you catch it. It's the Lord's will for you to catch it. But just I would recommend to quality check your videos. You know, maybe give it a couple of days, right? Give it a couple of days and then double back. Hey, give it a week. You know, give it a week and then double back on your videos, man. And just kind of like go through your video. Man, I would do a couple of days of video so you can not get backed up. You know, after a couple of days, go to the video you did a couple of days prior, listen to the whole video and see what's up with it. All right, because Esau's tapping in. Because again, and not to swear off topic, but hey, like the Elder Apostle Tahar says, the beloved Elder Apostle Tahar, there's lessons within lessons, man. But this is very important. This has to be put out there. That's why I shared a few of the brothers' PSAs when they reposted the video. You want to share that video. It's got to get through the ministry, man. Because everybody's got to know. Every brother, right, that has been thrusted out on the front line needs to know this. Because again, we're going to have no choice but to be numbered with the transgressors. This is just the reality of the story. But we can do our part in trying, you know, make sure our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted. You know, I'll say that much. So I'm going to do it. I recommend you, beloved Akiyam, double back on your lessons, you know, and see what's going on. And hey, Lord willing, you will catch them and you will be able to take them off, take them down. You know, because Esau got you up there talking about Yahuwah, you know, or talking about something DT related. You know, this is what he's doing. Because again, this is the truth. What we're speaking, this is the reality of the Bible. You see, and Esau knows. He knows that. That's why he's attacking it. What other reason? There's no other reason for him to attack this word. What other reason would he have to go into AIW your video, bro? It's because you're speaking truth. This is why. The name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, these are the true names of the Heavenly Father, okay? And his only begotten Son. All right? This is the reality, and the doctrine this is the true doctrine, you know? And this is why he's doing that. But I wanted to throw that out there real quick. You know, and what triggered my memory to that was this precept right here, man. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay? Only a demon would do that, bro. You see? Anyways, but the just shall live by faith, bro, which is the elect. Okay? The just is likened unto the elect. They're going to live by faith. Because faith is a gift, as we know, pursuant to Ephesians. Not everybody has it. And then those that think they have it, it's the faith of this world. All right, because when you establish the reality of the Bible to somebody that says they have faith in the Lord and in the Bible, and then they say, not my God, right? Not my Jesus, right? That's what they say. And they twist up the word and they try to make it seem like something it's not. And then they say that's how I understand it, and they start leaning upon their own understanding. They don't have faith. They're not standing on what's written. All right, the scripture says to the law and to the testimony, man. If they speak not according to this word, there ain't no light in you, man. All right, and that's the reality of the masses out here. But anyways, let's continue on, man. The just is going to live by faith, man. Right, which is the elect. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. Verse 5. Yeah, also, and here's the point why I brought this out. Yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, bro, which are philosophies, right? His ways, he transgresses by his religion and all types of ways, man. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And we're seeing him exercise this behavior real time right now. He always has. You know, he always, this is, Esau has been doing this since the old world. All right, since the Greeks. This is nothing new, but now we're seeing him do it in 2026. All right, look at, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges himself, who enlarges his desire as hell, right, and is as death, bro. All right, but pursuing the revelations, death and hell is gonna be cast into the lake of fire. You see, so you see the leading events to Esau's stoppage. All right. Yeah, man, this dude don't sit his ass down, man. That's why he has military barracks all over the earth. All over the earth, bro. Esau. Now, granted, a lot of them are not active. All he has to do is send some soldiers over there, and voila, they're active. You see? Look it. And cannot be satisfied, man, because he's covetous. You see, he's actually, he's worse than covetous. He's rapacious, man. He's aggressively greedy. As we see him exercise now in Venezuela, that all evolves around them 303 billion barrels, bro, and that gold that's over there, and the other precious metals that are there. Right? Look it. And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, bro. We literally see Evil E in the process of doing this. Okay, but again, as we mentioned earlier, they're in the process. They want Cuba now. They're pinpointing the target in Greenland, right? But again, Denmark responded with, "Hey, you do that, and you pretty much gonna knock off the whole peace treaty we got going on, man." Showing you that Revelations 17 is speaking, bro. It's speaking loud and clear. Let me get this real quick. Let me get this clip. Fair use is for educational purposes only. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this clip from Redacted. This is for educational purposes only. All right, fair use. I'm gonna play a couple minutes of this, a good portion of it. All right, listen up.
Well, in the wake of Trump's bombing of Venezuela, a new phrase has emerged from the CIA-loving influencer clash. You know, all the same guys that got those binders, the Epstein binders. You know, that's the same group. And that phrase is now MAGA isolationist. Here's the headline: heightens alarm. What Trump's Venezuela attack means for Iran and MAGA isolationists. Okay. You're a MAGA isolationist if you believe in George Washington's ethos that America should not entangle itself in the affairs of other countries. It's almost like these CIA-loving influencers all got their talking points from one place. Watch.
I've seen that there are a lot of people who are very, very upset on the so-called isolationist right. People who have in the past, for example, suggested that the only people who would be against Nicolas Maduro's continued regime are globo homo. For example, something Tucker Carlson said. Only globo homo would want Maduro ousted because he's supposedly a social conservative, which is not actually true. Well, I suppose the administration may have to explain to people like Tucker Carlson that, in fact, it was not globo homo that ousted Nicolas Maduro. It was a conservative Republican president, a gutsy president who makes the calls to preserve America's national security and her foreign interests, her interests in the Western Hemisphere, and her interests internationally, undercutting enemies of the United States, ranging from Russia to China to Iran to Cuba.
Yeah, okay. I love how he loves to mansplain everything to us. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for educating all of us about why we need to just depose foreign leaders. Okay. Notice how he just dropped Cuba in there as well. Like, just like slip that in there. Because, like, that those are the talking points right now, because I guess that's next. The CIA's fantasy is coming true. So the talking points are being sent out amongst this class right now, the MAGA influencers. Even warmonger Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, I shouldn't even dignify him with that title, on board Air Force One, because I guess he's Trump's foreign policy advisor now. He says Cuba should be next. Watch.
Could have done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered.
Okay.
We're going to wake up one day.
So I love how you're now priests and nuns, but when Ukraine does it, we give them money. See how this works?
Right.
It really makes a lot of sense.
And if that's not the definition of a hypocrite, bro, come on, man. I'm not sitting here, man. He said they prey on their own people. This place has a track record for preying on its own people, bro. All right? Hey, I'll just say Tulsa, Oklahoma. And a matter of fact, as recently as the C-19, bro. That was the greatest crime to humanity, bro. All right? Evil E did this. And he's sitting up there talking about Cuba and their status. And how they're tyrannical. But look at this guy. But the scriptures speak on these demons, bro. All right, the joy of a hypocrite, right? It's just for a moment, man. It's just for a moment. You can see the lack of sincerity as he was up there speaking that madness, man. Because they know what they've done, their track record. Listen to this demon.
Wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered.
Okay.
We're gonna
your
wake
days
up
are
one
numbered.
day.
So I love how you're now priests and nuns, but when Ukraine does it, we give them money. See how this works? Really makes a lot of sense to us, right? And here, by the way, and Iran is next too. They had to pose with this photo. Here's the Make Iran Great Again hat. This is not AI. Donald Trump signed that hat. So Iran, Cuba, Greenland, Colombia. What's next? Let's ask Congressman Thomas Massie, who's been hard at work trying to stop the regime change operations. Congressman, great to see you. Happy New Year.
Good to see you, both of you. Yeah, I thought that was AI too, or photoshopped that hat. Make Iran great again. Give me a break.
It's unbelievable. So if we're being honest, I mean, MAGA was never isolationist, right? The MAGA movement had been quietly co-opted from the beginning by neocons, deep state actors the entire time. So this idea of like MAGA isolationists, that you're somehow America first and you don't want us being entangled in foreign wars, that's a problem. You're just like the liberal left. How do you feel about that new term that's being floated around the past 24 hours?
Yeah, I'm used to that pejorative. If you're a non-interventionist, they jump right to isolationists. And by the way, I'm for free trade. I'm not an isolationist. And I just think it's crazy. And there's a few things I got to get off my chest that I haven't tweeted about. Probably I've stayed out of trouble. But one of these things I want to talk to you about is they say that the narco-terrorism is funded by the oil. Remember, this was all started out about the drugs, right?
Right.
And then they're trying to attach it to the oil. And so they say, oh, the narco-terrorism is funded by the oil. If there's one industry that probably doesn't need subsidies, I think it's the drug trade, right? Like they're acting like it would otherwise not be profitable to sell cocaine unless you subsidized it with oil profits. And so we got to go after the oil too.
Right. It's like the ethanol lobby. Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something. Yes, exactly. That I see. They keep slipping that in there, but once they do it 2 or 3 times, we just accept it and we don't go back. I want to plant a flag here and say, look, the oil is not subsidizing the drug trade. The drug trade, I think, is going to do just fine on its own, with or without oil. It doesn't go up or down with the price of gasoline.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And real quick, I just want to say this. The whole narco-terrorism bullshit, the whole drug trade situation, bombing boats with Venezuelans fishing, okay? All that was the boogeyman that they drew up in efforts to get to that source, that resource. You see, they drew up, and that's what Esau always do. But look how the Lord, there's a heavy spirit the Lord got on these other Edomites. He's driving them to speak out on topics, bro. He's driving them, and these are insiders, man. He's driving them to speak out. He's putting the spirit on them, like they can't help themselves, bro. They got to speak on it, because that's the spirit. All right, we're in a time where Esau's own tongue is falling upon himself, bro. You see, he can no longer run. All right, that Hail Mary 666 fake out. He can't run that no more. He's been found out. All his little plays are now being questioned. He's questionable. You know, we always mention he lost control over the narrative. You see, and he's pretty much chasing his own tail. You know, he's no longer able to deceive the way he used to. You see, everyone can see the scheme behind what he's doing. You know, and this place is looking real crazy, real shameful. Right? But it's all part of prophecy, man, to bring the end. Look it.
Belief, really, that we went, you were saying, what do we call it? Is it a kidnapping? We just snatched a president and his wife. And I wonder what that conversation went like. You know, honey, do you want to go on this trip with me? Or would you rather stay at home? You know,
Right.
this is crazy. And the other thing is they try to characterize it as a law enforcement activity. And that's why they try to say, well, we didn't need an act of Congress because this is law enforcement activity. And the military was just there to support the law enforcement. But now they're pretending that our laws have jurisdiction in other countries. One of the 4 counts against Maduro Firearms Act of the United States. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, our laws don't have jurisdiction there.
Right. And so, you know, I look at this and I think there should be consequences for this. It would affect all of us because we are supporting it with our tax dollars. But there is no authority. There's no one above the United States, the international court we're not a part of. Who can stop us? Isn't that something that keeps
Natalie.
you up at night? It's keeping me.
Natalie, only if you knew. Let me get something real quick, man. All right. And again, the mindset that she has, it makes sense. You know, because at the end of the day, again, Evil E's living out that blessing. He's ruling with the sword. The Lord, the Yahushai, which was Isaac, blessed him with the sword. He will live by it. Right? He's at the tail end of it, though. Right? This is his last stretch of terror right here. But check it out. He will be stopped. Because let's get this first. As a matter of fact, this came to mind real quick. Wisdom of Solomon came to mind, but let me just grab this first. This just hit me now. Daniel 4:17. Right? This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, all right? To the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomever he will, right? And setteth up over it the bases of men. All right, so ultimately Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, set this dude up. He set Esau up. And we understand Esau is the third part of man. He's the base man. Right? You have your 3 classifications of men. You know, the sons of God, the sons of men, and then the sons of perdition, which would be the so-called white man, woman, and child. Right? But the Lord set this guy up. He pulled him out of the caves and put a crown on his head, man. Right? Also, prophecy can be fulfilled. But check this out, though. Let's show Natalie the reality of what's truly going down. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Now, we understand Esau is in the position of a king right now. You know, he's in a position of authority. He's been given sovereignty. He's in his blessing. Right, so we can liken this unto him. Hear therefore, O ye kings, right? Listen, hear, right? And understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord. All right? And sovereignty from the highest, bro. Who shall try your works and search out your counsel. So there's going to come a time where Esau is going to be judged for what he's done. His counsels are going to be searched out. You see? He's not going to flee off into glory after all this madness he's doing. No, man. This is all part of his Manila folder. Okay, when he gets indicted in the spiritual court of law. You see? These are all charges that are just tallying up on him, right? And we know that. But anyways, now I just want to bring that up real quick. Because when you know, and because these mere mortals don't understand that there's a higher power controlling this movie. And at the end of the day, as strong and powerful and wicked Esau may be, there's a power that created this dude that's ultimately going to stop him. Look it, let's go.
Night. There's no consequences.
Oh, there will be.
If a president has the power to snatch another president from his country, he's got the power to snatch any member of Congress. Like this also concerns me as well. You know, you've got my colleagues cheerleading the president on this, but he is way off base constitutionally right now. All the legal norms are out the window. They're claiming these legal things that even a 3-year-old knows wouldn't work, like that you can't have laws in other countries that, you know, affect your jurisdiction ends at your borders. We know this. I joked with one of the gun groups. I said, if Maduro had just paid the $200 tax stamp and got fingerprinted and sign off from local law enforcement, he could have possessed those machine guns and been in compliance with the 1934 NFA.
Right. You know, what's interesting, too, is that Trump was the exact opposite on this position, whether it was Libya, whether it was going in and snatching Gaddafi and sodomizing him with swords, whether it was toppling Saddam Hussein, which, regardless of how you felt about Saddam Hussein, it was none of our business, but was really keeping all of these sort of disparate bands together in Iraq and not causing the destabilization. In fact, he was asked about this, and he was pretty emphatic that it cost us trillions of dollars and untold lives. Watch.
The world would be better off with Saddam Hussein
100%.
and Gaddafi in power.
100%. Now, as far as Assad is concerned,
What about the human rights abuses?
Let's talk. Well, you don't think they're happening now? They're worse now than they ever were. People are getting their heads chopped off. They're being drowned. Right now, they're far worse than they were ever under Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi. And it all blew up around Hillary Clinton and around Barack Obama. It all blew up. Now, one thing about Assad, not a good guy. I understand that. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's falling to pieces. We have 19 trillion in debt. We have infrastructure that's a disaster. Our roadways, our airports, our schools, everything.
So what's
We have to
still
start-
now
Excuse
except
me,
it's 38
who the
trillion?
hell is that?
Yeah, who is that guy?
I want him back. That's the one. That's the version I want.
Who's
That's
that
the
guy?
version
They
I
don't
vote.
they don't know who that is. That was the WWE Trump. You see? Because one thing is that Trump is a good actor, man. The elite they found a diamond in the rough with Trump. Okay, because you can't forget this nigga was with Vince McMahon on WWE, bro. All right, Trump is an actor. All right, and throughout his campaign, he beguiled all his people that support him, all these maggots, man. Because as you can see, he's doing contrary to what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to stop war, all right, over there in Ukraine and Russia in one day. Yeah, okay. All right, all those conversations he had with Putin went out the door. All right, and now here it is. Now he's pursuing war because that's prophecy. No one and nothing can stop prophecy. Okay? No one and nothing can stop prophecy, bro. You know, but ultimately at the end of the day, this nigga was lying the whole time anyway. You know? Because they had this was already pre-planned. You see? But yeah, that was the WWE Trump. That's why they don't recognize him. Right? Now the real demon that he's showing his horns now, this was the plan the whole time. To operate how they're operating right now, man. You see? Let's go. Hold on.
That's the version I thought we were getting. And
Got 'em.
You know, some people are saying, oh, this is America first because this means we're going to have cheaper gasoline. Well, it is true that we're in Venezuela because of the oil, but here's the thing, folks. They're calling it American oil. It's Venezuelan oil. And what happened is 20 years ago, there were U.S. companies, big oil conglomerates that had contracts to develop that oil, and their contracts got canceled by a government that was two governments before Maduro. And so when they say we're going to get America's oil back, no, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the oil for Exxon and Citgo and these other big companies. This is not going to be for Americans. They're going back to they're putting our soldiers' lives at risk. They're turning a country upside down in order to make these oil companies more profitable. I've thought this is another thing about MAGA. What I signed up for was we're putting Americans first, not American corporations first. But right now, these are basically, our military's acting as mercenaries. And the vice president is admitting as such, and so is the president. They're basically mercenaries to go in and steal this oil for the United States to get it back or to make these contracts whole after 20 years. And here's the thing, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this too, but in Kentucky, if somebody were to squat on my farm and they could get away with it for 7 years, and they keep adverse and notorious possession of my property, the state of Kentucky says after 7 years, that's their property now because you went too long without getting it back. There is a statute of limitations on these things. You can't say, oh, we didn't like the way you ended our contract 20 years ago, and so we're going to send our military in and take your oil from you. Doesn't work that way.
Right, but according to Esau, it does. All right? And this is what Esau has always done. He's the expertise when it comes to stealing, lying, raping, robbing. He's an expert at doing this. All right? Now let's go ahead real quick. Right, I said for that video. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 2, right? And verse 1, and it reads, and this has been coming on a lot, because this is the time we're in. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, right? Right, they're in a position of sovereignty. They're in a position of power, right? Again, which was given to them by the Lord, right? And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, what was given to them by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? But look at, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, man. All right, but guess what? There's a penalty for all this wickedness and iniquity, man. Look at, and they covet fields and take them by violence, man. This is what Esau do. He was blessed with the sword. Okay, when push comes to shove, when deception no longer holds weight, the sword's coming out the sheath, man. All right, and this nigga is going to draw blood. Romans 13 tells us what? He doesn't bear the sword in vain, man. All right, this is a demon we're dealing with, man. Esau is wicked. Look at, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, bro. Again, this has been an ongoing thing since Esau's inception. He has a whole track record that encapsulates these precepts. All right, but there's a penalty for it. Let's get this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. See, therefore, hold on, wait, there's more. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against his family, right? Esau, Edom, Genesis 36, right? Do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks? All right? And Baruch 4 tells us we're going to put our foot on their neck. That's the spirit. Neither shall ye go haughtily. And that's how we know. That word haughtily, that word being there is how we know. This is talking about Esau, man. Because again, haughtily goes back to proud. And there's no one more prouder than Esau. You see, he's the definition of proud. Look at, for this time is evil, man. So the Lord's going to meet you evil for evil, bro. You see, the Lord said, scripture say, with the froward, he'll show himself forward, man. He's going to deal with you the way you deal out. You see? And ultimately, at the end of the day, let's get this right here. Through the Spirit. We can close out with this right here through the Spirit. I'm gonna hit the comment board real quick. Psalms 37, right? In verse 14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. And ultimately, he's gunning for the prophets, bro. All right? He's saving the prophets for last. But he knows he's got to stop the prophets in efforts to what? Fulfill his diabolical plan. Right? And he's going to use media. Again, he's using these AI dubbing. Right? He's going to be using CGI. Right? To pretty much smear us, man. All right? To justify him to come down with the sword. Look it. But check this out, verse 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken, bro. So again, as we mentioned earlier in the lesson, Esau's gonna self-destruct, bro. Via Gog, Magog, the bear of Russia versus the whore. All right? Esau on Edomite. Let me get the you know what? I can't see the comments on this phone. I'm still in the process of trying to figure that out. I don't have time anyways. I gotta fly. Damn. But I know the brother put some good stuff up. The brother Yanaga. Let me see what I got real quick. Hold on for 1 second. Let me see something, brother. You had put something up earlier I do want to read. And shalom to you, beloved Akim and Akwaf. On the comment board, man, I'm going to tune in later. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Barakatam. So I wanted to get this right here. And I'm sure that's probably like a Google search is the source, I'm assuming. Right, it says China strongly condemns the U.S. actions. Right, China's government has criticized the U.S. military capture of Maduro as a blatant violation of international law. Correct, right, and a breach of Venezuela sovereignty. Right, again, because these niggas are in the spirit of annexing everybody. All right, look at Beijing has called on the U.S. to stop overthrowing the Venezuelan government and release Maduro, bro. Right, and this is a stance that the world's taking, bro. There was an article, it mentioned China, well, that was China, it mentions Brazil, it mentions Russia. I mentioned another spot too. You know, I can't remember where. But obviously you got Greenland that's against it, the Denmark and the rest of them. They're not with what this nigga's doing. You see? Trump, these niggas are spazzing out. But again, it's the global elite controlling this whole narrative. It's a movie. We're watching a movie is what we're doing. All right, this is all a big movie. As I mentioned earlier, Trump was on the WWE, bro. Okay? This nigga's an actor. All right? A perfect advocate for the elite's game they're playing. You know? But yeah, man, hey, at the end of the day, you Akim and Akwaf already know through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed. And Lord willing, you were informed, man. All right, Esau's losing. He's falling apart. All right, the whole house of Esau is divided. All right, and they're moving desperate. All right, they're moving desperate, bro. And again, all we got to do is sit back and keep doing what was required of us. You know, stay prayed up, fast as well as prayed. You know, as a man of the Lord, do what you got to do. As a believer, do what you got to do. We just got to do what we got to do. You know, and just keep watching, man. Esau's crashing out. All right, and we're about to be delivered, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of the great millstone where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, till next time, beloved Akim and Akwaf. Till next time, hey, shalom.